Hey, Scott, where can you go to practice math on New Year's Eve?
I don't know. Where can you go to practice math on New Year's Eve?
Times Square.
That's funny.
Hey, what do snowmen like to do on New Year's Eve?
You got me.
They like to chill out.
Because they're snowmen and they're cold.
They are.
Do you know what the little bottle of champagne called his father?
Pop.
Pop, exactly. What do farmers give their wives at midnight on New Year's Eve?
Hogs and kisses, I assume?
You're right, exactly.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
I got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your hosts,
It's very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Christmas time is here. Actually, I guess Christmas is over.
Uh-oh.
However,
Yay.
you're happy about this?
A little bit.
Although I was just posting about this on Instagram and maybe Facebook. I don't remember. But I honestly don't think that Christmas ends now. Here it is, December 28th. I think you need to keep your Christmas tree, your Christmas decorations, your outside illumination, whatever you got, up until at least New Year's. And I think those people that take them down immediately following Christmas, before New Year's, it's just that is so depressing to me.
Why? These fucking things have been up for a month.
No, but not no. We didn't even put ours up until December 15th.
Christmas is over, is it not?
It's not over. Not
is.
Not until the fat lady sings.
It's over on the 26th.
No, the 12th day of Christmas is January 5th.
No one cares.
So you take your stuff down on Insurrection Day, January 6th. That's what you do. What do you think's going to happen this January 6th? Do you think there's going to be some kind of re-insurrection? I mean, there's no way. I mean, they're obviously not going to allow that to happen at the Capitol. There's going to be like bulletproof vests and
I don't
fences and all kinds of stuff.
No, I think you learn your I mean, I hope they learn your lesson. I don't think any of that's going to happen, but I do know that there is a scheduled Trump convention on the 6th in DC, I believe.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not. It's been on the news.
Jesus.
I mean, I haven't watched the news because we've been very busy for the last week.
We've been kind of disconnected the last 4 days.
I don't know if that's changed, but prior to our guest arriving, when we were still watching the news, there was
right.
Former President Trump has
my goodness.
suggested that he is holding another rally in D.C. on the 6th.
He's actually coming back. Will this be his first time back to D.C. since he's left?
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. All right, we'll have to watch that.
So
we'll have to see that.
I suspect that if that does happen, that they will not deny him the permits required to be able to hold that rally.
Can't imagine.
I suspect that Capitol Police will erect the iron fence,
an absolute
around
fortress around the Capitol.
Exactly,
absolutely.
Because you just can't. You cannot allow that to happen on an anniversary. You just can't.
You can't.
I mean, that's bad press if that were to happen. It's like, this can't just happen again.
Right.
It'd be bad press.
It's not going to happen. It'll never happen again. I hope. I hope they learned their lesson.
Right. I mean, but the one thing that's aggravating to me, and there's probably a lot of people who would disagree. Mm-hmm. I mean, we lived in D.C. I was there for 15 years. You were there for
24 years.
24.
Yeah.
And during our time there, things have happened on those federal properties that I just thought should never happen.
Like,
I mean, you remember the guy that was in one of those?
Oh, that little airplane.
That little pedal airplane.
It crashed into the White House.
No, it crashed on the Capitol lawn.
Oh.
And like, why wasn't that motherfucker shot down?
Right.
How many people during our time lived there, jumped the White House gate and were just arrested? Why weren't those people just shot?
Right. You should be shot on sight.
I think there needs to be people who sacrifice themselves for the law to be able to make the point across that you do not fucking do this. Or things are just going to keep happening.
Well, I agree. And we're going to talk about later in the show, we're going to talk about that very thing. Very instance that you're talking about.
That guy that was in that little pedal copter was like throwing out flyers.
It wasn't the Capitol. It was the White House. It was when Clinton was president. It literally landed on the White House lawn.
I swear it was the Capitol.
How do you allow an airplane?
That's even more important.
Yes.
And there was video of this guy
did they let it
flying
happen?
around. It's like, why was he not fucking shot and killed?
He should have been shot and killed.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, what kind of Christmas sentiment is that?
It has nothing to do with Christmas. It's just you need to set an example that you cannot pull this shit.
You can't pull this shit. That's what Dale says. Hey, we made it nice for Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but we had a very nice Christmas here in
we had a
lower Delaware.
We had a pretty awesome time.
We had spent time with both your family and my family. Mm-hmm. And we had a good time. It was nice having my mom and dad and my sister and her whole family here. And we spent time with your mom and your sister and your cousins and aunts and all of them. It's fun. We had a lot of fun.
It was fun. Played games.
And as of now, no one got COVID. As far as we know, I feel fine.
I feel fine.
Don't you feel fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we made it nice. We had a good Christmas this year.
We had an expensive Christmas.
It was
we went big this year.
We went a little ridiculous this year.
I don't know why, because we've never done that before. But it was an incredible amount of money.
We went a little crazy
on gifts.
But you know what? We also got some really cool stuff. We got some very thoughtful gifts this year. I did.
I had a great Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my candy cane chapstick.
That was just one thing that you got. That was nice. I gave you some clothes.
You did.
Yeah. It wasn't very nice for Buzz. You guys know Buzz. If you probably watched Home Alone, if you're like us, you watched Home Alone this Christmas season, the classic Home Alone series, either one or two. Buzz is in both of them. He played Kevin McAllister's brother, older brother, Buzz. Well, his real name is Devin Rattray. He's an actor who played Buzz McAllister in the first two movies, and he did a cameo in this most recent Home Sweet Home Alone.
Home Sweet Home Alone, yeah, that's one.
Which is available right now on Disney Plus.
And I did not particularly like that movie, but I liked that part of it. It was nostalgic in a way.
It was a nice little throwback to the original movies, right? Well, apparently Rattray, who is now 44 years old, he got in some trouble this past week. He tried to strangle his girlfriend in Oklahoma City.
No.
Rattray was in Oklahoma City to appear as a celebrity guest at a Christmas convention. And on December 8th, the actor and his girlfriend went to a steakhouse. And at that steakhouse, two women came up to the couple and asked for Rattray's autograph. His girlfriend then pulled two signed autograph cards out of her purse and gave each woman a card. Apparently, that's what she told police.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. He got very angry at her when they got back to their hotel, and he tried to strangle her because she didn't charge them for the autographs.
I feel like, and I don't know any more than what you just said, and I don't think anyone knows anymore because I think this is what was reported in the news.
Right.
Is that this is probably an overreaction and not an attempted strangulation. Is that he was just upset and pissed off.
But she says that he had his hands around her neck. He was very upset. And she told police that he said, "This is how you die."
Oh,
I mean, literally.
I didn't know that.
All right, so if someone who played Buzz in the Home Alone movies is making his bread and butter from selling his autograph to fans,
Right.
I find that kind of sad. So I kind of find that whole convention thing where people go, you were, a somebody 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Right.
And you're still milking it for every dime.
Well, he certainly can't be living off that now.
No, but it's kind of like the people who are doing the cameos and the videos and stuff
Right.
all these years later, and they're still trying to milk off that one thing they did once upon a time. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad if you're that kind of celebrity that you have to whore yourself out for $100 to do a private video for someone, right?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, if there's people willing to pay for it, why wouldn't you do it?
Well, and we're all for that here on the Swish Edition. We're all for it. If you can make it, that's what you're worth. If you're worth $100 for a 30-second video to say happy birthday to your cousin Tanya,
Right.
or whoever, yeah, then go for it. Do it. If I thought that you and I could go on Cameo and whore ourselves out for money, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I would not.
I don't think anyone would pay us to do that, but
No, I wouldn't do it. Regardless of whatever amount I would do it.
happy birthday, Melissa. It's Dale and Scott from the Swish Edition.
Oh my God. It would be
Your husband paid us to say happy birthday to you.
And what's the other guy who messages us a lot from DC, I think?
We got lots of fans all over the place.
I can't think of his name.
We have fans here and there. I'm sure they would pay us $10 for us to put our hands around their neck and try to strangle them. You actually like that, don't you?
No.
Sometimes. The government last week threatened unruly airline passengers by saying that they could risk losing their TSA PreCheck privileges if they act up on airplanes. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, this is what they're literally putting out. They literally put out a press release last week that said, if you're unruly on an airplane, you won't wear your mask, you punch a flight attendant in the face, you could lose your TSA PreCheck privileges.
No, absolutely not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Automatic.
FAA?
Automatic no fly.
Automatic no fly list.
I mean, the thing is,
That's what we say.
Is that I don't care what you're going through.
Why aren't they willing to do that?
I don't care what you're going through, but I don't think travelers who are on airplanes, and apparently these people that we are talking about, it's how dangerous of a situation that you're actually putting the airline and the crew potentially in. Automatically no fly. Just none. Just absolutely, you're done.
You're
just
done.
fucking done.
You are not flying anymore. If you get up out of your seat,
Or maybe a first offense.
oh come
You're
on,
not flying for 5 years. After that, you're just fucking done.
It's just so crazy that they are so, and I don't know if these are liberal people or if they're just being super cautious. But yeah, of course you're going to lose your TSA PreCheck. Yeah, you should lose everything.
Everything.
You should lose your ability to fly on an airplane.
Exactly. I totally agree.
I mean, if you try to open the cabin door or if you try to
You're done.
punch a flight attendant in the face, you're never flying again.
Exactly.
Act like a human being, people.
You're fucking done.
And you should see the comments when this was posted. It's like, really?
People are mad because they're going to lose their TSA because people are acting up.
No, they were with us. They're with us.
Yeah.
They think this is fucking stupid.
It's gone on, but the thing is, and what's aggravating is that this has gone on for too long.
It's gone on for too
We've
long.
had over a year of this shit happening, and
Yeah.
nothing severe is happening.
Severe.
And you obviously have to treat people like fucking children.
You do.
Because that's how they're acting.
Well-
So you're just, okay, don't wear your mask. When we get to our destination, you're going to be arrested. And
You're never flying again.
I hope your destination is home because you're not flying on any airline domestic.
I hope Avis will rent you a car because
Right.
you're driving your ass home.
Exactly.
faking COVID now seems to be a new thing to get yourself out of stuff. This is really a thing. This is really a thing. People are starting to say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't do XYZ because I think I got COVID. This is happening a lot. A woman just recently posted on a popular online forum that she was considering faking a positive COVID test just to get out of uninvited family members who were coming to her house on Christmas. She revealed her frustration that both sides of her family had invited themselves over for Christmas. She wrote, I don't even know if I'm joking or not at this point. I'm so irritated. Both sides of my family have invited themselves for hours and hours tomorrow, plus dinner, breakfast, lunch, and 7 dogs between them.
Holy crap.
Plus, they've come to see the kids tonight. This is Christmas Eve. To bring Christmas Eve boxes and pajamas, etc. I went on an hour and a half walk with the dog just for some space. And when I got back, they were still here. The last thing on earth I want to do tomorrow is cook for 16 fussy and uninvited people. And they all wonder why I don't like Christmas. It's the same every year. I can't tell them to leave us alone for the day. They keep coming back. I don't know. I see this. I can see why.
I am with this person.
Well, one,
With it.
don't ever invite yourself. You never invite yourself or just drop in on someone on a holiday. That's ridiculous. And you never invite yourself. I mean, you and I think you and I are very conscious about this. We ask ahead of time. We want to make sure we're invited.
We've actually also have made it clear that no one is to just show up.
Right.
We've said that out loud.
You actually made that clear with your family. You said, don't just pull into my driveway and knock on my front door. Right. Because we might be naked.
You call ahead of time.
We could be very well naked.
Possibly.
I'm naked.
I mean, that's not the only reason.
That's not the only reason. Just because it's
Maybe
very
I just
inconvenient.
I just don't want to see you right now.
Christmas time is here. It's not that we don't love our family. I love them. I just want to know. I just want to know when they're coming.
I just want to know when you're coming.
And here's the thing. This is the funny part of this whole story. When are you leaving?
Right.
And how do you ask that question? So when we were making,
there are creative ways.
Yes.
And I think we've done this. Although we actually creatively asked them to stay a day longer.
We did do that. We did that.
The opposite.
Yeah. So, but when your family's coming to your house and they're coming to stay for, let's say Christmas, like it just happened. I literally asked my mom and dad, I said, so I know you're coming on the 24th or the 23rd. When do you think you're going home? Trying to make it as nice as possible. And they said, well, we're leaving on the 26th. And then I asked my sister, I said, when I know you guys are coming, when do you think you're leaving? And it turned out that we pushed them to the 27th because they ended up coming late.
Right.
And so it all worked out. But
and everyone was very much ready to leave.
But it's nice to know when your guests are coming that how long they're going to stay.
Right.
And when they're not flying, like all of our guests were driving, it's not a set time, right? They don't have reservations. They can leave whenever they want. But it turned out that yesterday morning, our guests all, by 9:30 a.m.,
gone.
All of our guests were gone. And we looked at each other like, oh, we finally have our house back.
It is a great feeling.
I love having my family here.
Oh,
and don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But it's always nice to get your house back.
Right.
Because you can be yourself. You can fart on the couch. You can wear sweatpants without underwear in the morning. Right. You can do all the things that you want to do when nobody's here.
But we had a lot of people. We had 6 additional people in this home.
and plus the 3 dogs.
And plus an additional dog that we've had for a week prior.
Plus your whole family came over for Christmas dinner.
Right.
Yeah, so we had 13 people for dinner.
Right.
And it was a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think we all have routines and they could be interrupted. That's fine. But it can only go for so long. Yeah. If it's like I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, I want to give you a little update. Actually, Dale doesn't know this. I'm going to tell him right now. Melissa and Jeremy, we've been talking about them a lot the last couple of weeks because they were in Vegas, our favorite place on earth.
I know, and we're sad that we weren't there because I would have loved to have been there. For one, I've never met them.
Right.
Number two,
you want to take them out.
They're in my favorite place on earth, where we used to live, where we're going back, and I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah.
And to be able to show them what we like as a local in Vegas.
Right. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because they actually left Vegas on Christmas Day.
Right. Which is probably the best time to fly.
Yeah. They flew back to Tampa, but they live in Jacksonville. So they landed in Tampa at 1:30 a.m.
Ugh.
Right?
Ugh.
Got in their car and drove all the way to Jacksonville across the entire state of Florida. And she said they got in bed at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking miserable to me.
Horrible to me.
But they're home. Home. Well, don't they have airports on their side of the state? I don't know. But
Tampa has an airport, even if it's not. I mean, why wouldn't you just take a puddle jumper from
Tampa to Jacksonville?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do that.
I mean,
they drove.
Look at us. We've gone to a week to Key West and had to fly back to Philadelphia, knowing that we had at least a 90-minute drive ahead of us, and it is horrible.
It's horrible. I hate having that ahead of myself.
I mean, because flying, no matter, all right, less than an hour flight, you can be fine. Yeah. But anything more than that, flying is exhausting. I know you're just sitting there, but it makes you very tired. And the fact that you got to get off the airplane, wait for your bags, find your car in the parking lot, and then think that you got to have a 2-hour drive or more home it sucks.
Right.
It sucks.
But they're home. They spent 2 wonderful weeks in Vegas. I think they had a really good time. They did a lot of things that we told them to do.
Well, I'd like to, if they're listening, which I think I know that she is.
She's listening today.
Is that
I know she's listening.
I would like to have a debriefing on her final thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Las Vegas is a hit or miss, and I feel like it's a miss for most people because they only think of Las Vegas as the Strip, and for most people that's what you go for, and that's what it should be. However, if you're spending an extended amount of time there and you have an opportunity to get off the Strip,
do other stuff.
Man, there are so many things that are close by that people just don't know that are just out there.
Well, they did Red Rocks. They did the Hoover Dam. They went down to the bar and saw Lindsay.
Nice.
I mean, they did a lot of things that we suggested. They went to Diablo's at the Luxor.
Diablo's. I know it's a chain, but that's a great chain.
Melissa got amazing pictures of the Bellagio fountain, which I told her I wanted to get put on a picture and put in our Vegas bathroom. So they I think they had a good time. We'll have to talk to her more to find out their final.
I want a debrief.
Yeah,
at least 2 pages long.
Yeah, but they did stay at the Paris, which is a Caesars property.
Nice.
Of course, you and I are MGM people, so they were on the other side of the Strip.
I will say
we like the west side of the Strip, but
we do. Yes, we do. But I want to say and we're not Caesars people, but I feel like I have a favorite Caesars property, but I don't know if it's Paris. It's certainly not Caesars.
No, well, we've never stayed at Paris, but we've spent time there.
No, but just think of the hotel as a whole, just being downstairs. Caesars Palace. Horrible.
No, horrible. Yeah.
Paris is a good one.
Paris is decent. Yeah. She said they really liked it.
I feel like Trashy Flamingo is my jam.
I like Trashy Flamingo.
I mean, it's
actually
it's
don't
old
know
Vegas in New Vegas at the same time.
Yeah.
Because Flamingo was the very first
hotel on the Strip.
On the Strip. And so
you and I have memories from there.
We do. I mean, we spent a lot of time there, but it's old. It's kind of dirty, but I like it. I like
and they
it.
have a great pool.
And their pool is freaking amazing.
Great pool party. Go in the summer. Go to their pool party.
Go in the summer. Go to the pool
You
party.
don't need to go to the bathroom. You can just pee right in the pool.
And there's freaking flamingos just kind of
everywhere
walking around. They're just hey.
And I actually don't know that if Melissa and Jeremy ever made it to the Flamingo to see the flamingos. So we'll have to talk to them about that.
Really?
She's going to let me know because she's listening to this right now. She'll let me know.
Yeah, Flamingo's great.
All right, so our entertainment portion of the show. I don't know if you guys know this, but Fox has canceled their New Year's Eve Times Square telecast. What? I don't know if the others are going to do this. I know that CNN has been promoting their broadcast with friggin' Andy Cohen and
Anderson Cooper,
which I think are the two worst people to host.
It's not great.
It's really bad, people. I honestly, I actually like both of those guys.
I like both of them individually, but when you're put on air and you have this horrible connection for a Zoom call, and not Anderson Cooper, but the other one wants to call his mother, and it's just not a fun time.
They're so horrible together, and on this show, I don't understand what CNN is thinking, but they'll be there.
We don't like it, but it could be a big draw. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a big draw because it's the only thing.
It's the only thing on.
I don't know.
So Fox is not doing it because of COVID, I guess. I don't know what the other networks are doing, but if you guys want to watch New Year's Eve from Times Square, I'm sure there'll be something for you to watch. I actually think that you and I should just put on a movie and screw the whole Times Square ball dropping thing. It's just kind of stupid. Anyway, you and I are usually in bed by 10 o'clock, so we miss the whole thing anyway.
I like to watch some of the concerts if they're good ones.
If they're good, yeah. If Ariana Grande is there, or
I mean, what I like the most is what every network that does not just single camera on Times Square, but also goes to
New Orleans and Las Vegas.
Miami has a big one, and then you pull up Las Vegas because Las Vegas, we lived there for a few years, and I feel like it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I would much prefer to spend New Year's if you gave me a choice between going to Times Square on New Year's Day, or going to the Las Vegas Strip on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve.
The Strip
by far.
I wouldn't go to
far because I'm not corralled.
Yeah.
I can have a drink in my hand. I can get away easily if I wanted to.
I wouldn't go to Times Square if you paid me $1,000.
Fuck no.
No way.
Fuck no. That is not fun to me.
No. And now this year, I think the governor
watching on TV gives me anxiety.
Yeah, they said that you have to be COVID friendly. I mean, you have to be vaccinated if you even want to go. Why would you want to go? Why would you want to stand in the friggin' middle of Times Square on New Year's Eve? I just don't understand.
When it's 10 degrees outside.
Stupid.
I mean, I get it. It's historical.
It's one of those things.
It's just a thing.
It's like going to the Macy's Day Parade, I guess. You got to do it once.
I don't want to do either one of those ever. Not even once.
I don't want to do any of it.
Not even once.
Apparently, cruises are erupting in COVID. Everything's erupting in COVID. But the good thing is, and I don't know if you guys are getting this message, but this new Omicron isn't really not that bad. I mean, it's apparently people aren't getting very sick. Hospitalizations are only up 3%.
Well,
people aren't dying.
We talked about this earlier. Is that that this new strain is very contagious. However, if you're vaccinated,
you're good.
Your symptoms are very, very low. They're just basically a sneeze.
Yeah. But apparently there's a lot of cruises going on right now, and countries like Mexico are turning ships away because they've got 40, 50 positive cases on board, so they're not letting them disembark. And
why aren't cruises requiring vaccinated people to go?
Oh, they are. But vaccinated people are still getting COVID.
Oh, you can still get it,
Yeah. So, but I think that's just the thing is that, okay, so you're singling out cruises. You're saying cruises can't stop in Mexico because 40 people on board got COVID, but you're allowing 150 flights a day to Puerto Vallarta, and those people have COVID too.
Right.
Believe me, they do.
Oh, yeah. It's
so it's so ridiculous.
It's hypocritical.
It's hypocritical.
The whole way that this thing is going, and I don't know who runs the show.
Yeah.
Is it TSA who runs the show?
I don't know.
I think they run a lot of it because I think if the federal government found that, all right, just like for example, all right, on cruises there's an average of 40 out of 3,000
3,000
people on a cruise ship. They get
sounds
COVID.
pretty good to me.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I'll
take
take those chances.
You take that same number of 40 people on an airline, which maybe only holds 200 people. Right. That's a big difference. And I think the TSA has a lot to say about this, and the government doesn't want to do anything about it.
The airplanes are still flying, and I don't understand. But all the Broadway shows shut down, and the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular shut down, and they're shutting all this shit down. The Go-Go's just announced yesterday that they're canceling all their concerts because of COVID. And it's like, oh, are you kidding me? Because it's everywhere, and I think it's always going to be here. So you need to just stop canceling
it's a
all
new
this
flu.
stuff.
It's a new flu.
It's the new flu.
But it's also still kind of new. I know it's been almost 2 years, but it's still kind of new.
It is still new. People need to get their heads around it.
We're working with that.
I think last week we told you guys that we were going to watch Being the Ricardos, the movie about Lucy and Desi Arnaz. Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball and Desi
Arnaz.
Yes.
We did watch it. I think we watched it almost the day we made the show, I think, last week.
I think so.
And man, loved it. Best movie of the year, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was that good. And that's coming from me. And this is, I think this is a movie that I believe it's a generational thing. Right? You would agree with that. I mean, because I didn't grow up with Lucille Ball.
Right.
Yes, I've seen I Love Lucy. Who hasn't? Everyone has seen an episode of I Love Lucy. Most people have.
Anybody alive has seen it.
Right. But the thing is I didn't follow the show. Yeah. I had no connection to either one of these characters. I knew of them.
Right.
My sister's a huge fan.
Huge.
She's younger than me.
Has she watched the movie yet?
She's halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know her internet problem. She's like third world over there.
Yeah. They basically have AOL dial-up over there.
Right, exactly. So I think it's generational.
Yeah.
And however, being said, is that I felt like as someone who has only watched 1 or 2, maybe 3 episodes all the way through, and that's like the Vita Vegemin and the chocolate one.
Chocolate Factory.
You know, the classic ones.
The classics.
Maybe 3 or 4 episodes all the way through. I don't dislike I Love Lucy. However, with that being said, as a 40-year-old person, right, who did not grow up with this, I found it very enjoyable, and I learned things. That I had no idea. I had no idea until I watched that show about the whole communist thing. Had no idea that was a news story from the 70s. Was it 70s?
50s?
No.
It was the 1950s. Yeah. I Love Lucy was on in the 1950s.
Well, then there you go.
There you
I
go.
still don't.
That's how much he doesn't know.
I still don't know. But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was really good.
Nicole Kidman did great.
Nicole Kidman was awesome.
I had a criticism, though.
Yeah.
That Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball in the non I Love Lucy recordings part,
when she wasn't being Lucy,
she wasn't being
Ricardo,
right, was fantastic.
Yeah,
she was not good at playing
Lucy Ricardo
as seen on TV.
As seen, right? I get that. However,
but it was still great.
Beyond that,
her voice,
the movie
was really good.
Yeah, the movie is friggin' amazing. And the singular reason the movie is so good is his name is Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin we talked about this on Binge Bum last week. He is probably one of the best script writers in Hollywood. He is amazing with dialogue. He did The West Wing. He did Newsroom on HBO. He did The American President, one of my favorite movies. And he is amazing at this, and the way he put it together. And there's lots of flashbacks, and there's flashbacks and flash forwards, but it's basically a week. It's Monday through Friday, from the table read to the taping of this one episode, and everything that's happening behind the scenes. And it's actually, I actually want to watch it again. I actually will sit down and watch it again because I think that we'll find things that we didn't see the first time. Yeah, probably.
And I am not a huge fan of movies or TV shows who are constantly going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And there's a lot. That's a lot happening a lot in Hollywood today.
It is.
Yeah.
But this worked. This worked. And there was no screen of there was no constant screenshots of 8 weeks later this is the following two. None of that. You just knew knew
what was happening.
It was done incredibly well.
Yeah.
And even if you're not an I Love Lucy fan, but you know of the show, you're gonna learn something, because I did.
Agreed.
I did.
Agreed.
I learned a lot.
I love Lucy and she loves me.
And it also reinforces what I was always told about Lucille Ball, is that, and this isn't probably the right word, but she was a bitch, but she held her own. She was
a strong woman who knew what she wanted, and she got it because
she got it. Because she owned that studio. She owned them.
And she owned TV because 60 million people were watching, and Philip Morris was paying for it, and they understood that she was rocking it.
And I think that was the fun part, because you get a look at how Hollywood worked back then,
and how the sponsors call all the shots.
Right, because Hollywood back in the day is that these actors worked. They were employees of the studio, and that is not the case anymore. Everyone's an individual. You're contracted out. You can work for any studio you want, but that wasn't the case back then. And I think that's fascinating.
It is,
because in the movie shows a great example of how I won't say too much, where she was kind of let go from a contract because she worked for the studio, and they didn't think they had enough parts for her.
Right.
I just think it's fascinating how Hollywood worked. It was literally
and fascinating how the sponsors and how the sponsors really called all the shots. So I don't know if that happens today as much as it did then. So Philip Morris pretty much owned I Love Lucy. Right. They called the shots. They had to get permission from Philip Morris to do the pregnancy season where Lucy was pregnant with little Ricky. If Philip Morris didn't sign off on that, they couldn't do it. Isn't that funny?
It is funny, but that's also not like a Philip Morris problem. That was just how things were, right? I mean, you look back at, what decade the Brady Bunch?
That was the 70s.
Right. You couldn't show a toilet.
No, there was no toilets.
Right. You just couldn't. There was like certain things.
And in the 50s, you couldn't use the word pregnant. They weren't allowed to use the word pregnant. She was expecting. I think they said that she was expecting, but they could never use the word pregnant.
Right. And wasn't it still up in the Brady Bunch in the 70s where if there was a shot with the parents, they had the two separate beds?
Oh, well, no.
Or was the 70s changed the time?
No, yeah, it was yeah. 70s they had the same bed, but back in the 60s and the 50s they had separate beds.
And no one lived like that.
No, of course not. No. It was just so stupid.
It was just stupid.
It was an idealistic world that didn't exist.
But I find it incredibly fascinating, and you see a lot of this, and you learn a lot.
It really is.
And I think everyone should watch it. It was a great movie. It was over 2 hours, wasn't it?
It was really good.
Yeah,
something like that. Pantone, the company that makes all of our colors for us, their Pantone Color Institute is where all designers and people who come up with the posters and every single damn thing that you buy in the grocery store uses Pantone colors to create the packaging that you buy every day.
Right.
Anyway, they've developed a new color in honor of quarterback Tom Brady, who is arguably the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Tom Brady has a new color called Brady Blue. It's 112-22, and it's a very brilliant blue, which I've probably seen a million times. I mean, I don't know if it's anything new. This blue.
I don't like it.
I wouldn't paint my house this color.
No, not even the interior wall.
It's a bold blue.
Very bold.
Exuding. What's that word? Exuding.
I refuse to even try.
Exuding strength and confidence, imbued with an inner intensity emblematic of Tom Brady's self-determination and commitment to precision.
That's just bullshit.
It's Pantone.
It's just fucking blue.
Brady blue.
It's just a different version of blue.
It's blue, man. It's Smurf blue.
Oh yes, it's very smart. It's very blue. Yeah,
I'm gonna post it on
I'm
gonna post it on our Facebook page so you guys can see it. I read this great article, a new Condé Nast Traveler article this past week about the real White Lotus Hotel in Maui. You guys, we've talked about the White Lotus a lot on this show. It was one of our favorite shows of 2021.
The one thing I want to say is that I've seen this article and it's saved because I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
So the real hotel where the White Lotus takes place in Hawaii is the Four Seasons Resort on Maui, on Wailea. And it's a pretty amazing hotel. And apparently the hotel has now embraced the fact that, everyone knows this hotel. It was filmed during COVID when the entire hotel was shut down.
Right.
So it was only the production team there. There were no guests there.
Well, Hawaii was the only state in the
shut
union
down
that had the most strict COVID rules in the whole freaking nation.
But now they're open again and people really, really want to go. But here are the two interesting factors, if you guys watch White Lotus, that you might find interesting. So the Mossbacher family, they were in the Trade Wind Suite, which is an actual real suite at the real Four Seasons Resort in Maui.
Nice.
So this is the family where the two girls were on the pull-out couch in the living room, and the poor son was in the
laundry room.
It was kind of like a kitchen or a little pantry or whatever. Yeah. The real fact is that it's a 3-bedroom suite. So there's the master bedroom and then 2 more bedrooms. So the kids could have been really sleeping on the high hog. Right. And then there's the pineapple suite. This is where the White Lotus's mismatched honeymooners, we know them.
Yeah.
Right? They were there. They were not doing well on that trip. They were in this suite, the presidential suite. And do you know what that goes for?
No.
$26,000 a night.
Really?
At the Four Seasons Maui.
Four Seasons?
That friggin' suite where what's-his-ass took a crap in the suitcase.
So is this $26,000 now? And like, what was it before?
I don't know.
Was it the same?
But I've got a little bit of money, but I would never, ever in a million years.
That's ridiculous.
Pay $26,000
that's
for
a waste of money.
One night in a hotel suite.
No,
just not worth it.
So now I'm curious to know what it was
before White Lotus.
Before White Lotus, right? And I'm assuming that this suite is not the only one. There's probably a duplicate suite, several
I
around.
Hope so.
And is it just this one that's 26 where they filmed the show and the other ones are much cheaper?
I don't know. But so I did go onto Four Seasons website and tried to book a room just to see what a standard room would cost. We're talking $1,200 a night for just a standard king room.
Wow.
With maybe not even a view of the ocean. $1,200 a night. So if you guys want to live...
I want to go to Los Colinas instead.
I want to go to Las Colinas from Acapulco on Apple TV.
Acapulco.
And that just is a perfect segue, Dale, for our final segment of today's show. We're talking about the best TV shows of 2021, since this is our last show of 2021.
That's right.
We want to tell you what our favorite television shows, which you can still watch because of streaming, you guys can still watch this shit. This is what I decided was our best shows, Dale. If you have any additions or subtractions, let me know.
All right.
But these are the shows we love this year. HBO Max's Hacks. Man, one of the best shows that I've ever seen. Do you agree? Hacks.
It was great.
It was great.
I don't know about the best show, but it's certainly one of the best.
And it has been renewed for season 2, so we're going to get more. Hulu's only Murders in the Building.
So I enjoyed this.
Steve Martin.
But I could also take it
Martin Short. Man, really?
It's enjoyable.
I thought it was so fun.
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's enjoyable to watch, but it's not a deep show.
It's not one of the best shows of all time.
It's not one of the best. Not one of the best. No.
All right, it has been renewed. It's coming back for a second season. How about HBO's Succession?
All right, so yes.
All right.
Yes.
So HBO Succession, we just finished season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty amazing. That was supposed to be it, but because it's so friggin' popular for HBO, they've now renewed it for a season 4. It's coming back.
And I don't know how they couldn't, because the ending of season 3 was so freaking amazing. Amazing that they've taken this arc and they've completely just throw fucking shit in the air, and you don't know what the hell is coming.
We have to know
for season 4.
We
so
have to
now
know what
you
happens
have to watch.
next.
I will say that Succession, if you just gave me seasons 1 and 2, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Season 3, fuck you. It was probably one of the best seasons of Succession, and I hope just the way they ended season 3, I hope they have something freaking great for season 4.
And I just read an article earlier today that said that the Succession season 3, the birthday party episode, was one of the best episodes.
One of the best
of the year of any show.
And the thing is, it was great. It was sometimes hard to watch, and I think that if a show can give you that kind of queasy thing, like, it's uncomfortable to watch, then you're doing something right.
You're doing something right.
And the way it ended, and maybe I shouldn't say anything, but the siblings are coming together, and I feel like season 4 is going to be now
siblings against father. Yeah.
And I think they set themselves up, but don't go to season 6 if you don't have to. Don't do it because you can.
All right.
Do it because you have to.
Yeah.
But if you don't have to, end it with this next season. Don't extend it because you can. Because HBO is giving you freaking money.
6. He means 4. Yeah, agreed. Also, some of the other ones that we loved, Apple TV Plus's The Morning Show season 2. I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of people canned it and thought it wasn't as good as season 1.
Disagree.
But I thought season 2 was actually kind of genius, and I loved the arc, and I loved what they did.
I put the last season of The Morning Show in the same boat as the season 3 of Succession.
Yeah, it was that good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's just because of the arc, the story, and they could really come back with a really great season.
Another show that we really loved in 2021 and that we're only just
loving
begun.
Currently.
Yeah, we've just begun is Apple TV Plus's Invasion. This is very deep. It's very different from if you guys have watched shows where aliens come to the world. The United States. They've come to the Earth. This is very different. It's a very, very different, and it's done really well.
It's done well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm excited about watching the rest of it. Of course, HBO's The White Lotus. We talked about that in the last segment. We love it, and we love that it's coming back. And now, I can't believe I added this, but actually added something from broadcast TV.
From cable, yes.
CBS Broadcast TV's Young Sheldon continues to be one of the best TV shows on TV right now.
Agreed.
Constantly laugh out loud. Funny and smart and well done.
Yes.
And it's one of our favorite sitcoms on TV.
Agreed.
It might be the only sitcom we watch on TV.
Right.
Yeah. And then 2 more. HBO Max is The Other Two.
Great.
Man, we love this show so much.
Although there is some hit or miss. There
are some episodes that are better than others.
Right. So most of the time when we watch the show, The Other Two, it's great. There are a handful that are literally bend over, laugh out loud, freaking funny.
If you guys
And
watch,
just a sprinkle of
if you watch the episode from the most recent season of them on the airplane where he goes into the bathroom and takes a picture of his dick, it is one of the funniest episodes of television I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's not his dick. It's his asshole.
Oh, from his butthole. That's right.
Right.
It's one of the funniest episodes of TV I've ever seen.
One of the best.
And I actually want to go upstairs right now and rewatch it because it's that good.
It is so freaking funny.
And then the final thing that we've got to tell you about, Disney Plus's Hawkeye. We're not Marvel fans. Dale and I will tell you that right off the bat, but Hawkeye is very enjoyable, and it's a great little 6-episode series, and we had a good time watching it.
And we got the Book of Boba Fett coming January 29th.
29th. Couple
29th?
days. That's tomorrow.
I am...
right?
Yes, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
January 29th.
Yeah, we'll be watching it. Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And it's just basically just going to be our holdover until The Mandalorian comes back.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
All right, so the dogs are going crazy. They're getting very restless, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go. But I do want to tell you guys, if you guys don't want to watch New Year's Eve crap on TV from Times Square, here are 2 things that I think we're gonna be watching this weekend. Don't Look Up on Netflix.
Yes.
You can also go to the movie theater and watch it. This has got Leonardo DiCaprio. It's got Meryl Streep. It looks really freaking great.
Timothée Chalamet.
And then there's the Matrix #4, which is getting great reviews. That's available on HBO Max. It's also available in theaters, so you can go to both of these movies in a theater or watch them at home.
Watch it at home.
I think we're going to watch both this weekend. Hey, want to let you know there's no Binge Bum this Friday. Dale will be back with his Binge Bum show next, what is that, January 7th, I think.
Something like that,
with a new show for the new year. And we want to thank you for another year of listening to the stupid, insipid Swish Edition for another year.
Thank you for watching the weird. It's always we want to ask you
why. Why do you listen to Dale and Scott on the Swish Edition?
Why?
Well, we hope you had a wonderful 2021. We hope you have a better 2022. How about no COVID for 2022?
Bullshit. There's going to be another weird name for another variant.
How about no masks for 2022? That would be my wish.
Right.
That and Vegas. I think we need to spend more time in Vegas.
Hey. We may have a new announcement soon in the new year.
We will. Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Ha ha ha.